pamper him, Mother. Michael, when I was your age, I took my medicine without a murmur, and I said, "Thank you, kind parents, for giving me bottles to make me well."
That medicine you sometimes take, Father, is much nastier, isn't it?
It's ever so much nastier. I would take it right now as an example to you if I had not lost the bottle.
I know it is, Father. I'll bring it.
John, it's the most beastly stuff. It's that nasty, sticky, sweet kind.
It will soon be over, Father.
I've been as quick as I could.
You have been wonderfully quick. First.
Father first.
I should be sick, you know.
Come on, Father.
Hold your tongue, John.
I thought you took it quite easily, Father.
That's not the point. The point is, it's not fair. There is more in my glass than is in Michael's spoon, and I would say, as though it was my last breath, it isn't fair.
Father, I'm waiting.
It's perfectly well to say that you're waiting. So am I waiting.
Father's a cowardly custard.
So are you a cowardly custard.
I'm not frightened.
Neither am I frightened.
Well, then take it.
Well, then you take it.
Why not both take it at the same time?
Certainly. Are you ready, Michael?
1, 2, 3!
What do you mean, oh, Father? I meant to take mine, but I missed.
Oh, George.
It was only a joke. Much use wearing myself to the bone in this house trying to be funny. That's right, coddle him. Why should I be coddled? I am just the only breadwinner. Why should I be coddled? Why? That's it. Tonight you all grow up. Wendy, tonight is your last night in this nursery. John, you're not far behind. I'm tired of being an adult in this house and not getting any respect. Let's see how you like it.
Father, that's not
Father,
you
can't do that.
I will try to speak with your father in the morning. He and I shall go to this party, and he will have forgotten his hurt feelings by sunrise. There is no use fretting about it now. Can anything harm us, Mother? After the night lights are lit? Nothing, precious. They are the eyes a mother leaves behind her to guard her children. I'll keep the window open throughout the night, and in the fading lamplight, if your eyes should close, Mother always knows. Careful in dreams, my child, danger is great, and wiles come calling to you quickly, so keep me close. Mother always knows. Adventure here and there you will not need to share, for I have dreamed them with you through stars you rose. Mother always knows. Mother, I'm glad for you.
Those were the last words she was to hear from her darling Michael for a long, long time. For a moment after Mr. and Mrs. Darling left the house, the nightlights by the beds of the 3 children continued to burn clearly. They were awfully nice little nightlights, and one cannot help wishing that they would have stayed awake to see Peter. But Wendy's light blinked, and gave such a yawn that the other 2 yawned also. And before they could close their mouths, all 3 went out. There was another light in the room now.
Tinkerbell! Tink! you crying?
What is your name?
Wendy Moira Angela Darling. What is your name?
Peter Pan.
Is that all?
Yes.
I am so sorry.
It doesn't matter.
Where do you live?
Second to the right, and then straight on till morning.
What a funny address.
No, it isn't.
I mean, is that what they put on your letters?
Don't get any letters.
But surely your mother gets letters.
Don't have a mother.
Oh, Peter, no wonder you were crying.
I wasn't crying about mothers. I was crying because I can't get my shadow to stick on. Besides, I wasn't crying.
It has come off?
Yes?
It must be sewn on.
What's sewn?
You're dreadfully ignorant.
No, I'm not.
I shall sew it on for you, my little man. I dare say it'll hurt. A little.
Oh, I shan't cry. I never cry.
There. Perhaps I should have ironed it.
Perhaps it's dead. How clever I am! Ah! Oh, the cleverness of me!
Oh, and of course I did nothing.
You did a little.
A little? If I'm of no use, I can at least withdraw.
Wendy, don't withdraw. I can't help crowing when I'm pleased with myself. Wendy, I think one girl is more use than 20 boys.
Do you really think so, Peter?
Yes, I do.
I think it's perfectly sweet of you. And I'll get up again. I shall give you a kiss if you'd like. Surely you know what a kiss is.
I shall know when you give it to me. Now shall I give you a kiss?
If you please. I shall wear your kiss around my neck. Peter, how old are you?
I don't know, but I'm quite young. I think I ran away the day I was born. It was because I heard Father and Mother talking about what I was to be when I became a man. I don't want to ever become a man. I want to always be a little boy and to have fun. And so I ran away and lived a long time among the fairies.
You know fairies?
You see, Wendy, when the first baby laughed for the first time, its laugh broke into 1,000 pieces, and they all went skipping about, and that was the beginning of fairies. There ought to be one fairy for every boy and girl.
Ought to be, isn't there?
No, you see, children know such a lot now, they soon don't believe in fairies. And every time a child says, "I don't believe in fairies," there's a fairy somewhere that falls down dead. I can't think where she's gone to. Tinkerbell!
Peter, you don't mean to tell me that. There's a fairy in this room?
She was here just now. You don't hear her, do you?
The only sound I hear is like a tinkle of bells.
That's Tink. It's the fairy language. I think I hear her too. Wendy, I do believe I shut her up in this box. Now, Tink, you shouldn't say such things. Of course, I'm very sorry. How was I to know you were in the box?
Oh, Peter, if she'd only stand still and let me see her.
They hardly ever stand still. Tink, this lady says she wishes you were her fairy.
What does she say, Peter?
She's not very polite. She says you are a great ugly girl and that she is my fairy. Now, Tink, you know you can't be my fairy because I am a gentleman and you are a lady.
You said you lived with the fairies. Where do you live now?
With the Lost Boys.
Who are they?
They are the children who fall out of their prams when the nurse is looking the other way. If they are not claimed in 7 days, they are sent far away to the Neverland. I'm captain.
What fun it must be!
Yes, but we are rather lonely. You see, we have no female companionship.
Are none of the other children girls?
Oh, no. Girls, you know, are much too clever to fall out of their prams.
I think it's perfectly lovely the way you talk about girls. John there just despises us. Peter! You are not captain here. I know you meant to be kind, so you may give me a kiss.
I thought you would want it back.
Oh dear, I don't mean a kiss. I mean a thimble.
What's that?
It's like this.
Funny. Now shall I give you a thimble?
If you wish to.
Ah! What is it?
It's exactly as if someone was pulling my hair.
That must have been Tink. I never knew her so naughty before. She says she will do that to you, Wendy, every time I give you a thimble.
Peter, why did you come to our nursery window?
None of the Lost Boys or I know any stories.
How perfectly awful!
That's why swallows build in the eaves of houses, to listen to the stories. Your mother was telling you such a lovely story.
Which story was it?
The one about the prince who couldn't find the lady who wore the glass slipper.
That's Cinderella! He found her, and they lived happily ever after. Where are you going?
To tell the other boys.
Oh, don't go, Peter. I know such lots of stories. Oh, the stories I could tell the boys. Let me go!
Do come with me and tell the other boys.
Oh dear, I can't. Think of Mother. Besides, I can't fly.
I could teach you. While you've been here sleeping in your silly bed, you might be flying with me, saying funny things to the stars. And Wendy, there are mermaids.
Mermaids? With tails? Oh, how I'd love to see a mermaid.
How we should all respect you. You could tuck us in at night. None of us has ever been tucked in at night.
Would you teach John and Michael to fly too?
If you like.
Boys, wake up! Peter Pan has come and he's to teach us to fly.
Then I shall get up. Hello? I am up. How do you do it?
You just think lovely, wonderful thoughts and they lift you up in the air. Oh, that's right. First, you need fairy dust. Tank! Now try again. Wiggle your shoulders and think good thoughts.
Stars! Mermaids!
Pirates! And away we go. Second to the right and straight on till morning.
That, Peter had told Wendy, was the way to the Neverland. But even birds carrying maps and consulting them at windy corners could not have cited it with these instructions. Peter, you see, just said anything that came into his head. In the old days at home, the Neverland has always begun to look a little dark and threatening by bedtime. You were quite glad there were night lights. Of course, the Neverland was make-believe in those days, but it was real now. And there were no night lights, and it was getting darker every moment.
There it is.
Where? Wendy, there's a lagoon!
Look, Michael, there's your cave.
John, there's a pirate ship!
Peter was a little annoyed with them for knowing so much, but if he wanted to lord it over them, his triumph was at hand. For have I not told you that fear fell upon them?
They don't want us to land.
Who?
The pirates. Captain Hook is on that boat. He's not as big as he once was.
What do you mean?
I cut off a bit of him.
You?
Yes, me!
I wasn't meaning disrespect.
He has an iron hook instead of a right hand, and he claws with it. There's one thing that every boy who serves under me has to promise, and so must you. If we ever meet Hook in open fight, you must leave him to me.
I promise, Captain.
Would you like an adventure now, or would you like to have your tea first?
What kind of adventure?
If you like, we'll go down and kill him.
Tea first!
Are Peter's lost boys. The boys on the island vary, of course, in number, but when they seem to be growing up, which is against the rules, Peter thins them out. It is said that that is why the pirates seem to grow in number. This is Tootles, not the least brave, but the most unfortunate of all the boys. He had been in least adventures than any of them, because big things constantly happened just when he stepped around the corner. This is Slightly. He thinks he remembers the days before he was lost. Next is Nibs, the debonair. Curly is a pickle, and is so often delivered up when Peter sternly says, "Stand forth the one who did this thing," that now he stands automatically whether he has done it or not. Lastly are the twins, who we could be describing, but we would be describing the wrong one. Peter never knew which one was which, and his band were not allowed to know things he did not know. So these two kept vague about themselves, and did their best to sit close together in an apologetic sort of way. A more villainous lot never hung in a row on execution dock. Here a little in advance, ever and again, with his head to the ground listening, his great arms bare, the handsome Secco. Here is Bill Jukes, every inch of him tattooed. Gentleman Starkey, once an usher at a public school.
And still dainty in me ways of killing.
Skylights. And Noodler, whose hands were a...
Fixed on backwards.
And here comes the boatswain Smee, an oddly genial man who stabs, so to speak, without offense.
And the only nonconformist on Hook's whole crew.
And the cruelest jewel in this dark setting is Captain James Hook himself. His hair is like black candles, his eyes the blue of the forget-me-not, and of a profound melancholy save when he was plunging his hook into you. He was never more sinister than when he was most polite, which is probably the truest test of breeding. And the elegance of his diction, even when he was swearing, showed him of a different cast from his crew. Undoubtedly, the most grimmest part of him was his iron claw. And such is the terrible man against whom Peter Pan is pitted. Which will win?
Captain, let go!
Put back that pistol first.
It was one of those boys you hate. I could have shot him dead.
Aye, and it would have elected the whole island that we're near.
Shut after him, Captain, and tickle with Johnny Corkscrew. Johnny's a silent fellow.
Not now. He is only one. I want to trouble all seven. Scatter and look for them. Most of all, I want the captain, Peter Pan. 'Twas he that cut off my arm. I've waited long to shake his hand with this.
And yet, I've often heard you say that the hook was with a score of hands for combing the hair and other homely uses.
If I were a mother, I would pray to have my child born with this instead of that. It's not that, Smee. It's that Peter Pan flung my arm to a crocodile that happened to be passing by.
I have noticed your strange dread of crocodiles.
Not of crocodiles, but of that one crocodile. It liked my arm so much, Smee, it's followed me ever since. From sea to sea, and from land to land, licking its lips for the rest of me.
Well, in a way, it's sort of a compliment.
I want no such compliments. I want Peter Pan, who first gave the brute its taste for me. It would have had me by now, but by happen chance it swallowed a cock, and it goes tick, 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 tick inside him. And so, before it can reach me, I hear the tick and bolt.
Someday, the clock will run down, and then he'll get you!
Ah, that's the fear that haunts me. Do you hear that? It's those boys. Silly moles, this proves they have no mother.
Did you hear them say Peter Pan's from home? Unwrap your plan, Captain!
Return to ship and prepare a large cake of jolly thickness. We shall leave it on the shore of the Mermaid's Lagoon. Those boys are always playing there with the mermaids. They will find it and gobble it up, and not having any mother, they will not know how dangerous it is to eat rich, damp cake. They will die.
It is the prettiest, evilest policy I've ever heard of. Ooh. Yo ho, and I say paw, by fear they overtook. Knots left upon your bones when you have shaken hands with hook.
They're gone.
I do wish Peter was here.
Listen! What's that? It's wolves! And they're chasing Nibs!
Oh, please save me.
What should we do?
What would Peter do? Peter would look at them through his legs. Let us do what Peter would do. Yay!
We saved you, Nibs! Did you see the pirates?
No, but I saw a much wonderfuler thing. A great white bird, and it flies this way.
What kind of bird do you think?
Well, I'm not really sure, but as it flies, it moans, "Poor Wendy."
Look, I see the Wendy.
That's Tinkerbell!
Hello, Tink!
What's that? Peter wants us to shoot the Wendy!
Quick, bows and arrows or rocks.
Out of the way, Tink! I'll shoot it! You're late! I've shot the Wendy. Peter will be so pleased with me.
This is no bird. I think she must be a lady.
And Toodles has killed her.
Now I see! Peter was bringing her to us!
A lady to take care of us at last.
And you have killed her! I did it! When ladies used to come to me in my dreams, I said, "Pretty mother," but when she really came, I shot her!
No, don't go.
I must! I'm so afraid of Peter!
Greetings, boys. I'm back and I have great... Say, why don't you cheer? I have great news, boys. I have brought a mother for you all at last. Have you not seen her? She flew this way.
Peter, I will show her to you. Back twins, let Peter see.
She's dead. Whose arrow?
Mine, Peter!
Oh, dastard hand!
Strike, Peter! Strike true!
I cannot strike. Something stays my hand.
It is she. It's the Wendy lady. Look, her arm.
Poor Tootles.
I think she whispers, poor Tootles.
She lives.
The Wendy lady lives!
See? The arrow struck against this. It is the kiss I gave her. It has saved her life.
I remember kisses, let me see. Aye, that's a kiss.
Wendy, if you promise to get better, I'll take you to see the mermaids. She's awfully excited to meet the mermaids.
Listen to Tink rejoicing because she thinks the Wendy's dead. Tink, the Wendy lives!
Now you see, Peter.
Okay,
we saw
I'm so sorry.
Right, all the way across the sky.
Take it.
Listen, Tink. I'm your friend no more. Be gone from me forever. Well, not forever, but for a whole week.
Let us take her down into the house.
Aye, that is what one does, ladies.
No. You must not touch her. It would not be sufficiently respectful.
That is what I was thinking.
But if she lies there, she will die.
She will die.
There's no way out.
John, wake up. Where's Mother? It is true. We did fly. Hello, Peter.
Hello.
Is Wendy asleep? Let us wake her and get her to make supper for us.
All look your best. First impressions are awfully important.
Why, where am I? And who are you?
Wendy lady, be our mother!
Ought I? Of course, it's frightfully fascinating, but you see, I'm only a little girl. I have no real experience.
That doesn't matter. What we need is just a nice motherly person.
Oh dear, you see, I feel that is exactly what I am.
It is, we saw it at once!
Very well, I'll do my best. Come inside at once, you naughty children. I'm sure your feet are damp. And before I put you to bed, I have just time to finish the story of Cinderella.
From that night on, adventure became a daily occurrence. The best we can do is to show you one of them, as a specimen of an average hour on the island. The difficulty is from which to choose. The Mermaid's Lagoon, or Peter's defiance to the lions, or perhaps the tale of the rich damp cake. The best way will be to toss for it. The lagoon has won. The children often spent long summer days on this lagoon, swimming or floating, and playing the mermaid games in the water and so on. You must not think from this that the mermaids were on friendly terms with them. On the contrary, it was Wendy's lasting regrets that all the time she was on the island, she never heard a civil word from one of them. They treated all the boys the same, of course, except for Peter, who chatted with them on Maruna's Rock by the hour and sat on their tails when they got cheeky. The most haunting time at which to see them was at the turn of the moon, when they uttered strange, wailing cries. But the lagoon is dangerous for mortals then, and until the evening of which we have now to tell, Wendy had never seen the lagoon by moonlight. Less from fear, for of course Peter would have accompanied her. than because she had very strict rules about everyone being in bed by 7.
You see, Wendy, this is called Mariner's Rock because of all the sailors who are marooned here when their captain leaves them on this rock and sails away.
Leaves them on this little rock to drown?
Oh, they don't live long. Their hands are tied, so they can't swim. When the tide is full, this rock is covered with water, and then the sailor drowns.
How awful!
Pirates! Dive!
Love you, lubbers! There's the rock! Now then, what we have to do is hoist this lost boy onto it and leave him there to drown. It's Captain's orders.
Poor Curly!
What was that?
Ahoy there, you lubbers!
It's the captain? He must be swimming across the water to meet us.
We are putting the boy on the rock.
Set him free!
But, Captain...
Cut his bonds or I'll plunge my hook in you!
We'd best do as the captain says.
It is the captain?
Captain, is all well?
He sighs.
He sighs again.
And yet a third time he sighs. What's up, Captain?
The game is up. Those boys have found our mother.
Oh, evil day!
What is a mother?
He doesn't know.
What was that?
It must have been one of them mermaids. Say, if she is a mother, perhaps she is here helping Peter.
Aye, that's the fear that haunts me.
Captain, could we not take these boys' mother and make her our mother?
It's a princely scheme. We'll make the boys walk the plank, and then she'll be our mother.
Never!
Do you agree, my bullies?
There's my hand on it. And mine.
And there's my hook. Ow! But I forgot. Where's the lost boy?
Oh, that's all right. We let him go.
Let him go!
'Twas your order, Captain.
You called across the water for us to let him go.
Brimstone and gallants! I made no such order.
It is passing strange.
Dark spirit that haunts this lagoon tonight, dost hear me?
Odds, bobs, hammer, and tongs! I hear you.
Who are you? Show yourself.
I am James Hook, captain of the Jolly Roger.
You are not. You are not.
Brimstone and Gal, say that again and I'll cast anchor in you.
Come tell me, if you are Hook, who am I?
A codfish. Only a codfish.
Have we been captained all this time by a codfish?
It's lowering our bride.
Don't desert me, bully. Come tell me, Hook, have you another voice?
I have.
And name?
I.
Vegetable?
No.
Animal?
Yes.
Boy?
Yes.
Ordinary boy?
No.
Wonderful boy?
Yes.
Are you in England?
No.
Are you here?
Yes.
You ask him some questions.
I can't think of a thing.
Can't guess, can't guess. Do you give it up?
Yes.
Well then, I am Peter Pan.
Now we have him. Into the water, Smee. Stunky, mind the boat. Take him dead or alive.
Are you ready, boys?
Aye, aye!
Then lam into the pirates.
A blood was John, who gallantly climbed into the boat and held Starkey. Here and there a head bobbed up in the water, and a flash of steel followed by a cry or a whoop. In the confusion, some struck their own side. But where all this time was Peter? He was seeking bigger game. The others are all brave boys and must not be blamed for backing away from the pirate captain, from which they fled like affrighted fishes. But there was one who did not fear him. There was one prepared to enter that circle. Strangely, it was not in the water that they met. Hook rose to the rock to breathe, and at the same moment Peter scaled it on the opposite side. Neither knew the other was coming. Surprised, they raised their heads, their faces almost touching, so they met. As quick as thought, he grabbed a knife from Hook's belt and was ready to drive it home. But then it struck him he was higher up on the rock than his foe. It would not have been fighting fair. So he gave a hand to help the pirate up. It was then that Hook bit him.
Crocodile!
Peter? Where are we, Peter?
We are on Marooners Rock, Wendy, but it is growing smaller. Soon, the water will be over it.
We must go. Shall we swim or fly, Peter?
Do you think you could swim or fly as far as the island, Wendy? Without my help? I can't help. Hook wounded me. I can neither fly nor swim.
Do you mean we shall both be drowned? Look at how the water is rising. Look, Peter, a mermaid.
She can take only one of us.
Let's draw lots.
And you a lady? Never. Goodbye, Wendy.
Peter!
Peter was alone on the lagoon. The waters rose still further, lapping over the rock, and he knew he would soon be submerged. Pale rays of light tiptoed across the water, and in the coral grottos could be heard, at once the most musical and the most melancholy sound in the world, the mermaids calling to the moon to rise.
To die will be an awfully big adventure.
Once upon a time, there was a mother.
But you're a mother.
There was another mother. Mrs. Darling.
I knew her.
I think I knew her. She was married to a Mr. Darling. Who one night grew very cross when taking his medicine. So he told his 3 children that they needed to grow up. So the children flew away. They flew to Neverland, where the Lost Boys are.
I just knew they would. I don't know how I knew, but I knew they would. Wendy was one of the Lost Boys called Tootles.
Yes, he was.
Am I in the story? Yes, I
A little less noise there.
Now, I want you to consider the feelings of the unhappy parents with their children flown away. Think of the empty beds.
It's awfully sad.
But our heroine remembered that her mother used to sing me this song. Oh, keep the windows open throughout the night, and in the fading lamplight your eyes should close. Mother always knows. Careful in dreams, my child, dangers great and wild come calling to you quickly, so keep me close. Mother always knows. Adventures here and there you'll not need to share, for I have dreamed them with you through stars who rose. Mother always knows. She will always be there, waiting for us to return to, standing with the window open. Peter, what is it? Where is it?
It isn't that kind of pain. You're wrong about mothers. I thought like you about the window, so I flew back. But the window was barred, for my mother had forgotten all about me. And there was another little boy sleeping in my bed.
Wendy, let us go home. Are you sure mothers are like that?
Yes.
John, Michael.
You won't leave us, Wendy.
Yes.
Not tonight.
I'm afraid to stay another moment. Peter, will you make the necessary arrangements?
If you wish.
If there's anything we could do, Wendy, to make you more comfortable,
It will be worse than before she came.
we shan't let her go.
Tootles, I appeal to you.
I am just Tootles, and nobody minds me much. But the first who does not behave to Wendy like an English gentleman, I will blood severely. What are you, Slightly?
English gentlemen!
What are you, Nibs?
English gentleman.
What are you, Curly? English gentleman. Twins?
English gentleman.
Dear boys. Dear ones, if you all come with me, I feel most certain that I can get my father and mother to adopt you.
But won't they think us rather a handful?
Oh, no.
All right.
Slightly, let's go. The bed again, Slightly.
Hurry up with that stupid bed.
Take it!
Get your things, Peter.
Help me!
I'm not going with you.
Yes, Peter. To find your mother.
Perhaps she would say I was old. I just want always to be a boy and to have fun. Snow blubbering. I hope you like your mothers. Are you ready, Tink? Lead the way.
Unaware of the tragedy being enacted against his friends, Peter was so full of wrath against grown-ups, who as usual were spoiling everything, that he nearly cried. But it struck him how angry Wendy would be if he laughed instead. So he laughed a hearty laugh,
Ha ha!
and fell asleep in the middle of it.
What is it, Tink? Pirates? I'll save them. What a grand adventure!
On his way around the island, Peter passed the crocodile and noticed that it stopped ticking. He realized then that the clock had finally run down. One green light squinting over Kidd's Creek, marked where the Jolly Roger lay. A rakish-looking craft fouled to the hull, every beam in her detestable. Hook trod the deck and thought. As was often the case, he was profoundly dejected. He was often thus communing with himself on board the ship. It was because he was so terribly alone. This inscrutable man never felt more alone than when surrounded by his dogs. They were socially so inferior to him.
How still the night is. Nothing sounds alive. I should be feeling TV, and yet a premonition of impending doom embraces me. All mortals envy me. Better for Hook to have a little less ambition. No little children love me. 'Tis said they find Smee lovable, but soft, what makes him so? Good form! To claw a man because he has good form, what would that be? Bad form! Quiet, you scrubs, or I'll cast an anchor in you. Are the prisoners tied up?
Aye, aye, Captain!
Then bring them forth.
Come up, you lubbers!
6 of you walk the plank tonight, but I have room for only 2 cabin boys. Who will it be?
Don't irritate him unnecessarily, had been Wendy's instructions to the boys. So Tootles stepped forward politely.
You see, sir, I don't think my mother would like me to be a pirate. Would your mother like you to be a pirate slightly?
I don't think so. Kathy, would your mother like you to be a pirate?
I don't think so. Twins, would your mother like you to be a pirate?
We don't think so. Nibs, would you?
Stow this gap! You, boy! You look as though you have some pluck in you. What dost you say, me hearty?
Well, when I was at school, I rather wanted to be a pirate. I thought I'd call myself Red-Handed Jack.
And a rather good name, too. We'll call you that here if you join, my bully.
What would you call me if I joined?
Blackbeard Joe!
What do you think, John? His name is better than mine. I refuse.
Then I refuse.
That seals your fate. Bring up their mother!
Are they to die?
They are! Silence all from mother's last words to her children.
These are my last words, dear boys. I feel as if I have a message to you from your real mothers, and it is this. We hope our sons die like English gentlemen.
I'm going to do what my mother hopes! What do you do, Nibs?
What my mother hopes. Enough! Tie her up. Get the plank ready.
I'll save you if you promise to be my mother.
I'd almost rather have no children at all.
There's nothing that can save you now.
There's one.
Up, boys, and at 'em!
Oh, Wendy! I killed a pirate! It's awful, awful! No, it isn't! I liked it! I liked it!
Back, you mice! Do you like him?
Put up your swords, boys. This man is mine.
So, Pat, this is all your doing.
I, James Hook. It is all my doing.
Proud and insolent youth! Come on, Peter!
Finish it!
Frisky prank, we walked along and so till it goes down and you go down to Davy Jones below.
Wendy, of course, stood by, taking no part in the fight, though watched Peter with glistening eyes. But now that all was over, she became prominent again. She praised all the boys equally until she saw the clock hanging on the wall and realized it was 1:30. For the children, the lateness of the hour was almost the biggest thing of all. She got them to bed in the pirate bunks pretty quickly, you may be sure. She was more resolute than ever that her time in the Neverland had come to an end. So we will now return you to the desolate home from which 3 of our characters had taken a rather heartless flight so long ago. We venture back into that familiar nursery only because its lawful occupants are on their way home.
Wendy? John? Michael? Oh, it's only a dream.
I think I've been here before.
Of course you have, you silly. There is your old bed. It is awfully careless of Mother not to be here when we get back.
It's Mother! Then you're not really our mother, Wendy.
Perhaps we don't remember the old life as well as we thought we did. Let us all slip into our beds and be here when she comes in, just as if we were never away.
I see them in their beds so often in my dreams that I still see them when I am awake. Mother! That's Wendy. Mother! That's John. Mother! George!
Wendy, we can't hold on to the rain spout any longer.
What? Who? Why?
Don't worry, Mummy. They're just a few motherless boys we brought back with us.
But, my love.
Come in, boys. Please say you'll have them.
Of course I will.
You will? I hope you should ask for my consent as well as yours. I'm sorry. I dare say we'll find some room for you. Follow the leader.
There could not have been a simpler, happier family than the Darling family that night. But there was none to see them except a strange boy who sat in the window staring in at the one joy from which he must be forever barred. It is a sad truth that Peter, for all his love of grand adventure, never seemed to grasp that to merely live every day through is the greatest adventure of all. Of course, all the boys went to school. It is sad to say that the power to fly gradually left them. Want of practice, they called it, but it really meant they no longer believed. Michael went on longer than the other boys, but still the years came and went. You might see the twins in nibs every day going to an office, each carrying a little bag. Curly is up at Oxford. Michael is an engine driver. Slightly married a lady of title, so he became a lord. You see the judge with the wig coming in that door? That used to be Toodles. And the man who has no stories to tell his children was once John. And Wendy grew up. You need not be sorry for her. She was one of the kind that likes to grow up. Wendy had a daughter called Jane, and she told her all she could remember in the very nursery from which the famous flight had taken place.
Peter!
Hello, Wendy. Where's John?
John doesn't sleep here now.
Is Michael asleep?
That isn't Michael.
Is it a new one?
Yes.
Boy or girl?
Girl, Peter, are you expecting me to fly away with you?
Of course. That is why I've come.
I can't. I've forgotten how to fly. Oh, Peter, don't waste your fairy dust on me.
What is it?
I'll turn on the light and show you.
What is it?
I'm old, Peter. I'm ever so much more than 20. I grew up long ago.
But you promised not to.
I couldn't help it. I'm a married woman. And the little girl on the bed is my baby.
No, it can't be. What does she call you?
Mother.
Boy, why are you crying?
My name is Peter Pan.
Yes, I know. I've been waiting for you.
Will you come with me and be my mother?
May I, Mommy? You just so need a mother.
Yes, I know. No one knows it as well as I.
Our last glimpse of her shows her at the window, watching them receding into the sky until they were as small as stars. If you continue to look, Jane is now a common grown-up with a daughter called Margaret, who he will soon take with him to the Neverland to tell him stories. When Margaret grows up, she will have a daughter to be Peter's mother in turn, and so it will go on, as long as children are joyful and innocent and heartless. If you keep your window open and listen for the stars, there you will be. second to the right, then straight on till morning.